perhaps the most forgiving sniper in any game. Boone is a pretty straightforward character. You hold his secondary to scope in and shoot a large single projectile, or stay unscoped to use the blunderbuss's multiple pellets. Both of which do have ricochet properties, which makes him the most forgiving sniper of any game. The ability to miss but still land your shot is pretty busted in my opinion. While scoped in, Boone will float in the air for a few seconds. So keep this in mind and please stay off the ground where you're a much easier target. His special ability is a vortex of air that will push Boone in the opposite direction and take enemies on a ride to the KO barrier. Well, looks like he got out of it that time. Using the vortex offensively is a gimmick in my opinion and is quite hard to land, but if you think you can go for it, because it is pretty funny if you do land it. The special ability also resets your 5 jumps and your scope. Normally, once your scope expires, you can't scope back in to float, so keep that in mind. The blunderbuss does have a hidden special property due to its pellet nature that will actually let you bypass the Mega Blast danger if they're on low enough health. Okay, so maybe here we're gonna fully knock him out. Yeah, so he wasn't in Mega Blast danger, but because of the multiple pellets, a few of them were able to put him into Mega Blast danger, and then the others were able to KO him. So that is something to keep in mind. If you see opponents are on pretty low health, just go ahead and pop the blunderbuss on them to finish them off. The trick to using the vortex for mobility is to first use up your 5 jumps. Then you're going to want to aim in the opposite direction that you want to go and use your special ability. After you use your special ability, you want to turn around and then initiate your newly refreshed 5 jumps. It is important to note that you should let go of the opposite walking direction before you jump or you will cancel all of your momentum. So for example, if we're facing this way and we're jumping but I'm still holding W when I jump, I'm going to be jumping in the opposite way that I'm shooting myself, and that will cancel my momentum. Before we get into artifacts, let's take a look at the best skin in the game. Level 97 on the Battle Pass, it's Khaki Boone.
Gotta get my gear going.
Beautiful. Alright, for loadouts, in my opinion, he basically only has one, and that's going to be whatever you prefer on slot 1, and then boost capacitor with juking jukebox. I don't play him much, but this is the most mobile loadout. Super Cav, on KO you're just going to get your vortex back, and if you like to use your vortex to KO opponents, this is actually going to be not that bad, but you will be losing out on that extra air movement speed. And the plus 15% air jump strength while moving in the same direction is going to be great for mobility. That's basically it. He doesn't have a secondary ability, so Crystal Crown is going to be completely worthless. Bastion Bell is good, but you are going to not be as mobile anymore. And then Reef Buoy, so that if we start taking damage, we can use the shift to put a big distance between ourselves and our opponents. I'm not really sure about Axial Fan, as he does have 5 jumps. It seems kind of overkill. Probably Hunter's Idol. Hunter's Idol is just great for anybody, but stick away from the red. Mega Rocket's going to be a bit of a strange one. In general, any sniperish characters aren't going to be... well, they can be good on Mega Rocket. The issue is you're going to have one less person who's very useful while actually standing on the point. So we're going to get aggressive here on the start and just sort of go towards their spawn and see who we can start to pick off. So there, I actually missed my shot, but the ricochet gave me the KO anyway. Very balanced mechanic. I really don't know why it's a mechanic. It seems kind of overkill in my opinion. He's already a pretty strong character. If anything, maybe take away his ricochet. and replace it with like just more damage. I don't know. Like, it is unique, but I think it's unique in an unhealthy way. I'm gonna go ahead and scoot our butts over to the opposite map, or the opposite side of the map. Ooh, kind of forgot that they had a top notch for a second there. So again, here you can shoot the parrots to activate that cannon. Look at that poor little leaf just getting slaughtered by the cannon. And in those instances, you can use the pellets to helps you secure a KO that if you're not sure that you can land the full scoped in single projectile. Although the pellets don't do as much damage, so we'll keep that in mind. But usually when they're in Mega Blast danger, you just need a couple pellets to hit them. Again, we saw that the warning for the missile was right below our feet. And the second you see it, you can press dodge, and you will completely ignore all damage from the missile. It's very forgiving. You don't have to try to time it or anything like that. Just basically pop it the second you see it. Or hear it. It will sound like a bit of a whistle. So that little speed boost thing is actually going to be extremely useful as a runaway tool for Boone, or a really aggressive tool. One of the things that Boone does benefit from is, due to his blunderbuss, he's actually pretty useful at close range. You don't have to try to run away as much like you do with Flux. This game's going by a lot quicker than I anticipated. So here, I don't think we've actually sniped from the ground very often. And that's basically going to be the main takeaway here, is because he can float while he's in the air, you shouldn't be sniping while you're just, you shouldn't be hard scoping while you're on the ground. That's just not going to... Oh, there we used the pellets to bypass his Mega Blast danger thing, and just able to instantly delete him. Probably Boone's biggest strength is that he can do that, right? Your opponent might be saving their dodge until they are in Mega Blast danger, but because you can completely bypass that, it just throws them off guard. But yeah, I see a lot of newer Boones sitting on the ground a lot and just hard scoping and not moving. Boone has a lot of mobility. His 5 jumps, his vortex, which refreshes his jumps and refreshes his floating hard scope, just combine all of that to constantly be moving. Even though he is a sniper, the ability to float in the air while you're hard scoping is very useful, and that's going to give you a lot of good positioning where you're not an easy target. One of the things where you could camp is sort of on pillars, and then once people see you, sort of just jump away, hard scope, and then jump back towards the pillar to refresh your jumps. And that's going to be quite annoying for your opponent. So again, don't stay on the ground. He's a very mobile character, and he can float in the air, so don't stay on the ground. And that'll be about it. I'll see you guys on the next one.